Go get that version. Lenny Welsh, don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave me in misery. If you do, then I'll be blue. 'Cause breaking up is hard to do. Neil Sedaka? Yeah, it's good. Lenny Welsh, that dude got a voice, y'all. That brother can sing, right? I love it. I need someone. And he sings Eptide really good. And what's the other one he does real good? I love Are You Sincere? I'd like to know which way to go. Are you sincere? He's good, man. I like me some Lenny Welch, y'all. I just long for the day when people aren't having to go on the road to pay their bills and to be famous and be, when you take money and you take something of no intrinsic value and you make it valuable, then when people are made to manipulate over it, then they feel important and powerful when they use their money to make it seem like they took care of the situation. Solomon, share, care, give, and according to build last. If you need a road, build it. What about the resources? They don't cost money. But do you have the time and the people? Then let's do this. Okay. If we need a road, then that needs to be done. If we need a house, that needs to be built. If we need a barn, we need to do that. Okay. So when we do things, it's because it needs to be done. We understand it needs to be done. And certain things, human life and existence, you should not bomb yourself back in the Stone Age and think you're being righteous. Okay. When you do things well and you do things right and you do things to last, okay, if someone comes along and does it better, you don't curse them, you thank them. You only curse them if they take better and destroy better so they can be the solution to your problems, but they're the cause of your problems, right? You need my product. It's a piss poor product that I made cheaply because I got to keep selling my product to be powerful, manipulative, and influential. Do you understand? So, and I was watching some of these kids. I watched some of the Saved by the Bell, and they had a Christmas episode, right? And they're singing at the end of the thing. They're singing, "Round young virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep," and which rarely happened with Lord Jesus Christ in his life. All right. He was born in a manger where people were mean to him and his parents. After that, they had to flee to Alexandria because Herod was trying to kill the baby that was prophesied to be the man that would eliminate his legacy of selfishness. Just like what happened with Moses, with Pharaoh, yada, yada. Right? You'll find these stories are consistent throughout time. And always the righteous one, the story is everybody looks for his coming, and he will help us live righteous lives, and he will help us stop doing bad things, and he will help us focus on right and good and truth and eliminate and avoid, eliminate lie. Just to eliminate it, right? But the liar wants to destroy the good one, the right one, so he or she can continue to manipulate people selfishly. Okay. No, they didn't try to hunt me down and physically kill me as a baby. They studied me and 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 then tried to, everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a breaking point. Everybody will lose it. I've lost it many times. But when I lose it, it's radically different than when a prime minister, a president, or a general loses it. Kill people, I've been pissed off, right? There's me. Stop doing that because I don't want to have to kill you. Well, life's a precious gift from the glory of God. But if you're going to cause people to be murdered through toxins and stress and disease, okay, I'm going to have to stop you. Survive, stop, eliminate, abuse, recover. Right? I've never met anybody in the world that has been abused so publicly and so heinously. Okay, and it'd be so obvious, and people act like it's obviously not happening. Really? So what's going to happen? There's a magic story by the corporations that put Ozempic into the story. Oh, it's magic, never believe it's not so. I love the story of the manger and the men that gave him the money to get to Egypt because they knew of the prophecy in the story and they wanted to make sure the baby was safe because they wanted to make sure he grew to be a man so he could be the shining light of, that Herod couldn't try to kill him as a baby, like cowards always do. And so it happened with Moses. Okay. Pharaoh sent out to kill all the babies to try to get Moses as a baby because he couldn't handle him when he was a man. Okay. And then he ended up raising him in his own house, right? Yeah, the man that would bring down the legacy of WrestleMania, and say, hell no, worship God properly. It's a good thing to do. Okay, here you go. Okay, and so it's wild, isn't it? The story always is very repetitive. Okay, and the Messiah is a living man among you. He's not a magic guy in the clouds. That's from misinterpretations from Tolkien and Lewis, from trying to push the rich British into the Gospels. So you get Lord of the Rings, Narnia, Harry Potter. Okay. ¿Tú entiendes? Right. The wearer of the ring. I don't have a surveillance net to keep me powerful and all-knowing. That's the David Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah. They're related to rich British people, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't interpret the Gospels that way. I don't overread the Gospels. I only read them when inspired by Jesus in my head to go read them. And then he always tells me, everything that is reality, emphasize it. Everything that you don't see in reality and it doesn't happen now and it didn't happen then, just ignore it and keep focusing on the reality. Thank you, Jesus. You're welcome. Okay. So he's always been that way to me. It's since I was a kid. Yeah, every time they did the fantasy stuff and the fantasy football stuff, I was, no, you can't do that. Like when I watched cartoons when I was a kid, you can't take that and shoot that through the pipe and his tail come out and then Tweety Bird comes out the other end. He shot the gun into it. That's crazy, And so it's damn crazy. And so, I don't believe in shit that's crazy. And I don't believe in mythology. Okay? The second star to the right shines in the night for you. And if you do believe in mythology and kill people over mythology with money, okay, we'd love to recruit you to be an assassin for the CIA. Yeah. We'd love to do that. This is Harvey the Puka. I'm Mr. Smith. Let's go to Washington, right? Billy Jack also went to Washington and tried to clean it up. You can't clean up bureaucracy with bureaucracy. How do you clean up bureaucracy? You eliminate bureaucracy. How do you do that? JK, given coins need built to last. How Proverbs view, yes. Okay. Heart of Psalms, seed of Proverbs. Yeah, you know me. Okay, people. Wow. Okay, have I ever told you that I'm an omniscient God that's going to kill you and send you to a magic place in my head if you don't believe I'm an omniscient, omnipotent God from the Vatican? Have I ever told you that? Okay, which one of us is the egomaniac? I tell you, my name is Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. My life story is extensively covered in tons of rabbinic documents. Okay, the story of my life is in Revelation. Okay. His dad's name is Raphael. His mom's name is Mary. Oh, skull figure. That's me. Yes. Okay. So it's just me. Yeah. Guys, what do you think Joseph was like? Jophus, Jesus' earthly father. What do you think Mary was like? Mary, at the wedding, shut up and just let it. Jesus, don't rock the boat, Jesus. So I'd like to know where you got the notion. Do you think you can rock the boat? Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over, right? No. And Jesus, and right before he was crucified, Jesus, your mother and your brethren want you. Jesus, just let it go. Let it go, Jesus. So we always submit to Rome's philanthropy and completely deny Solomon's and Abraham's faith. They'll kill you. Yeah, but I'm the light on eternal faith. And Caesar's Palace is a whorehouse in Las Vegas. What do you want to talk about? Anybody else want to talk about faith based on reality with me? Scientists don't like me because scientists want to feel powerful, manipulating you with the Oura ring. Okay? And there's no such thing as theology. Okay? You can't theorize what you think you believe in. It's not based on theory or theology. No, what you believe in, faith must be based on reality. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Right? Okay, so I believe that. That is my faith. That's not theology. That's truth. You can't prove that. You can't disprove that. Everything in science, me and Jerry were talking about tonight. I sat there and I said, they think, when they took me to Sierra Vista, they thought, well, past, present, future operate at the same time. So I stole all the hard work from the scientist to have information in the Gospels that was good. Okay. Yeah, but we're not living the good information in the Gospels. We're living the scientific, hey, pay me money to get access to your family's pictures or your house gets paid for. You see what I'm saying? So it's obvious that you can't replace infinite glory and eternal faithful life with science projects that say, he stole our patent. Okay. Life's eternal grace is infinite. Forgive debt and trespass, love on eternal faithful peace. Care, share, give us according to needs, build to last. Orale. Ralphie Pow Pow. Early Pow Pow. Pow Pow Pow. So there's nothing they can do. Jim, Spock, there's nothing they can do. It's illogical, Captain, to think that you can circumvent infinite glory with the inventions of the ego. Right. Okay, so therefore, you see what I'm saying? So there's nothing they can do. The Gospels, I stay in pain and discomfort because I try to reach people and try to keep them to, get them to live the Lord's Prayer now. So we don't have to suffer another day being abused by manipulative, selfish, pathetic, disgusting, perverse people. I'm in Las Cruces, New Mexico. It don't get much more perverse than this, except for Cochise County, Arizona. But the thing about it is when people migrate to these areas because the connection in prayer is really good. Okay. We have the best Wi-Fi signals in the world in this corridor. Like the Chiricahua had. Remember how in that Geronimo movie, most people talk to themselves. Likeness of self, past, present, future operate at the same time. You have a genetic molecular structure that is consistent, that is the temple for the soul. Okay? Most people talk to themselves. Okay? There are very few people in the world that billions of people are talking to because he's the standard of faithful, truthful love. Okay? In other words, Oral Roberts is full of shit, man. Yeah, so is Pope Leo. Okay, but do you understand? They're not talking to Leo or Oral Roberts to live the truth of the Gospels and save their children from being murdered by the people that deny us the truth of the Gospels. They're talking to Earl, the son of Ralph and Mary. Okay? The murder for the fuck for the buck stops here. It says so in all the Gospels. And that's what's so cool about it. It's like, it's true. Okay. The church is true. Oh, I was raised in the Mormon church, guys. When Martin Clark would say his prayers, I believe this church is true. I know okay. Do you understand? I was raised in the Mormon church. The Glenn and I know who he was. He was talking to the eternal spirit of Adam, Moses, David, and John. So Joseph was trying to restore Psalms and Proverbs on this continent by living the ways of the people that lived here before the Europeans came and manipulated them with mass movements of agreed on, written down idolatry. Okay. The people here that were trying to be good were doing a better job of trying to be good than the people that followed the people trying to be good that came here. Guys, Angelina Jolie's just reading books. The Pilgrims came out and they were good people. A lot of them were good people. And the Pequot became friends with them and they worked together and they celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah. 5 years, they said the Pilgrims, 5 years later, the Pilgrims massacred the Pequot. Are you sure it was their neighbors? Or was it the carpetbaggers that showed up in the boats because the poor people went and established, oh, those savages will kill you. Well, they had people they trusted. There's the story in prayer, and then there's the story that the rich people write down that they want you to continue to believe. Okay? I believe in Malachi Young. Even if your books and your history, they tried to kill that man and his children and stuff off the face of the planet, but they didn't. They're still Steve. Steve Young is his relative. Okay? So you didn't kill him off the planet. Do you understand? Okay. So when you are alive and you talk to the Lord in prayer and his family, he knows your family. He's going to talk to you. Okay. Do you understand how it works? When I talk to you, if I don't know who it is, yada, yada, yada. And they go, well, that's throughout time. Now, guys, look, I've had many prayers and cards. Little Hawk. Okay. Every time I went up to Wyoming, we had the most beautiful prayers. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. I love you guys very much because he knew who the line of Jesus was. Okay. You're going to have to understand reality. Okay. If you can't have faith based on reality, you're manipulated by people that manipulate you of fallacy.